Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Addie and today we are back with another speed build. Today we are finishing the inside of the landgraab house. There will be another part to this. I'll be doing the basement, but today we are building the of the house that is above ground, and we'll be finishing that. So first thing I do, and I talked about this a little bit in the last part, I end up completely deleting the whole downstairs over here. I did really like this sitting area, but I wanted a dance floor because, like, if anyone's gonna have a ballroom, it's gonna be Nancy Landgraab. So rearranging the living room to accommodate that. And at this point, I decide to just basically delete everything and then center the dance floor with the fireplaces. And we have a lot of seating that goes around here. We've got a couple of chairs and coffee table with the tea. We've got the piano, which is over here. And I'm pretty sure that your Sims should be able to use that. And then we get more plants and kind of fix the lights. It was not centered very well. So we fix that, and then I get a chandelier because I feel like if you're gonna have a ballroom, you need to have a chandelier in there. So we have all of that, and then yeah, microphone, and I did really struggle to fill up the space. I felt like I didn't know how to do that, but it felt really empty. So I end up getting a bar. I don't know if we end up picking that now or if we come back to it. But I do that, and then I also end up getting, which I delete that bar. I think I get the modern one from the base game. What's it called? Not that one. It's like a 4 wide bar from the base game. This one a lot of them felt too like commercial, so too like for community lots. So we have that, and then I do end up coming back to that, I believe. And in here, we end up changing out quite a few things in the study. If you didn't see the first part, I would encourage you to go back and watch that just because that's when we furnished all of this. But I don't think that if you didn't want to go ahead and watch that you wouldn't really be missing a lot. I think the most interesting thing would be the upstairs because we furnished the upstairs last time. Because those were the children's rooms. And then, but this time we're really just renovating kind of what we did last time, so there's not really like too much of a problem. And then I did go ahead and change the floor in the study, and I made it more yellow instead of pink. I felt like Jeffrey Landgraab wouldn't really like pink. Not necessarily that he doesn't like pink, but this is his office, I imagined, so Nancy's not really coming in here. And we come back into the ballroom, and I just end up getting some rugs over by the like where people sit. And I felt like that filled up the space well enough. And then I leave the bar without bar stools. I imagined that you wouldn't really want bar stools on the dance floor, so we left that. And then we started on the upstairs, like the uppermost area where Nancy and Jeffrey's bedroom is. And basically, um, we have a lot of bookshelves. Um, in summary, we have a lot of bookshelves. Um, because I imagined that Jeffrey has like a very extensive library. So we put like a shit ton of books over here. And I was gonna see if I could have it to where we could have like a built-in sort of book, like a book, like with like the couches and stuff, but we end up not doing that in the end because I didn't want to have to replace all of the bookshelves around the couches. So we didn't do that. And then I am getting more clutter from the Book Nook kit. And then we have these rugs. I use these rugs a lot in this build. I feel like they're really fancy. I think Nancy would have a lot of fancy stuff. Um, and then just because they're fur, like that she paid to have like a fur rug dyed pink in her house, multiple of them. So we have that, and oh, in this house I do use CC, so I will try to remember to link the video with all of the CC and the link. I don't want to have to go through and be like, this is what I used. If you want to see how all the CC that I have in my game, you can I'll link the video down below that has all of the stuff. So we have that, and then I'm getting more couches. I felt like if anyone is going to have um like a random sitting area, it's gonna be the land grabs because they are like the epitome of wealth. Um, so that's what we are doing, and then we do shift everything over to be centered with um the fence or the stairs, I guess, rather. And then I did think for a second maybe to put something behind the chairs, but I ended up not doing that. And then we just get a couple of plants. We get one from where is it? I think it's the plant from Crystal Creations. Yeah, there it is. And then we end up working on the bathrooms, and the bathrooms actually took quite a long time. Um, I actually end up switching the bathrooms. So the one that I'm working on right now ends up being Jeffrey's bathroom initially, and then we switch it out to have to be Nancy's bathroom because she ends up having like a secret um love lair, if you want to call it that. So the room that is their bedroom currently ends up being divided into two, and then we have um like the I don't know how you would describe it. It's like the area where she like hides her love affairs from her husband. Because in my head she has like an affair with everybody. So everybody that works for her. So she has definitely had an affair with the butler, with the maid, with the chef, with the pool boy, with the you name it, she's probably done it. Which might not be a good thing, but it seems like a Nancy thing. So she's done it in my head. And then so this bathroom is very like blue. I guess I probably could have made this yellow because that's the color of his office. So maybe Jeffrey prefers yellow over blue, but he could always like both. There's nothing wrong with liking both. Um, so we have that, and then in my head, this is initially when I was making this, we had Nancy's bathroom in here. So Nancy does not care if there is a window in her shower. She is like equivalently 4 stories up. She does not care if like there is a window in the shower because unless you have binoculars and are across the street, you cannot see. So, um, we have that. And then, like I said, these will end up switching. So, the bathroom that I am decorating right now will end up being Nancy's bathroom, and then the bathroom that is Nancy's bathroom right now ends up being Jeffrey's bathroom, and they have a very nice balcony. So we end up getting, um, what's it called? We end up getting the base game hot tub and then on their balcony. And then again, I was using CC, so if you wanted to see that, all of the CC that I have is um, in the one video that I did where I looked at everything. Um, and we have that, and that I will try to remember, like I've said half a billion times, to put that in the description down below. And I am, as I'm doing this, I am realizing that I am very tired. I spent all morning writing. I like to write in my free time, which I don't have a lot of, and it's Labor Day weekend when I'm posting this. So, um, we I have had a little bit more time to do that, and um, I have been working on that all morning. So, um, I am a little bit tired. It was a little bit um much trying to do that, but we have this, and then we are finishing up Nancy's bathroom, which again will switch. And we're just putting in some curtains because as much as she will be like, oh, it doesn't matter, I feel like she would definitely want to have curtains. And then Jeffrey ends up having some curtains as well. I'm not sure if we end up keeping this one or if we end up keeping a different one. Um, I guess we probably end up keeping that. And then I did redo Malcolm's bathroom because I imagined that they would have done that for him when he got his bedroom. So we have that. And then I did go ahead and put hampers in both the bathrooms. And I then went back up and got a rug, and then we'll start on the actual like bedroom portion of the upstairs. So right now we're just getting that rug, and I use this one a lot. There's like, I love the Modern Luxe kit. It's so good. It's so pretty. It's definitely like, I love the, not necessarily the style, but I love like a lot going on. I love pattern and texture and stuff. Um, and so I love the Maximalist kit. I think it is so pretty. Um, and then this, um, even though like some of the pieces can be a little bit hard to match, I feel like it's actually pretty good in general. But we are moving on to the bedroom now, and it was at this point that I was realizing like this room is massive. So I end up getting a wall down the center, and it is where Nancy hides her affairs. Um, and this is where we end up switching everything over. Um, I felt like if anyone is going to be like a bathroom hog where like you need to um where like they want the bigger bathroom, I feel like it would be Nancy. Um so in my head, like they end up being quite equal, but I feel like they would have um like the switching is quite a lot. But I feel like Nancy would definitely want the bigger bathroom. One of my friends, when we were considering living together for a period of time, and we realized during this that we couldn't, that we just like wouldn't work as a as like what are they called, roommates. Um, my brain, every time I hear roommate, I immediately think like, oh, they were roommates, you know, and I'm like, that's not, no. She is my token straight friend, so she would not. Yeah. Anyway, so we have the switch happening, and this ends up being quite similar to how it ends up being. And right now we've sort of got a combo of colors in both the bathrooms. I did feel like Nancy's toilet closet being bigger made sense, um, just because like her bathroom is bigger. Um, and then I did get the second towel again. Um, and then I think that is the end of the bathrooms. In here, I um I put a bookcase door because again, I didn't think that I felt like they would be functional bookcases. Um, so Jeffrey would like use them as like built-in bookshelves to put his books. But they're actually doors and they go into Nancy's secret affair loft. Which I guess it's not really a loft, but we're gonna call it her affair loft. I feel like that works. So we have that in here, and then the bed situation was um something. So I end up going through like 40 beds, and I think I end up deciding on this one. Um, and then we've got this one's also a kit. It's from the Modern Luxe kit, I think. Um, and I really like the contrast of like their two sides of the bed. I did feel like Nancy, of all people, would be like wanting to be like, yeah, I sleep with my husband every night. But like, does she sleep with other people during the day? Um, um, so we have that, and then I got her a vanity from the kit as well. Same kit, it's the bed, and then we are getting something above the bed, I think, or maybe we're getting a pillow. Um, and then Jeffrey, in my head, Nancy and Jeffrey were like an arranged marriage. So they don't necessarily like get along that great, but they get along well enough to stay married. So, and like staying married for them is mutually beneficial. So I think that they just sort of put up with each other. I don't feel like they actually like each other all that much. And then I did get Nancy a jewelry box on her vanity, and then Malcolm got this gem table thing, or like gem tool thing. And then we have a couple of other, um, like, I don't know what you would call them, clutter. Um, like I said, I don't know, I'm all of a sudden feeling really tired. So my brain is moving at like half time speed. But we are getting some shoes now. And I really I love this big sliding door. I did feel like um the I really like this door. It's from Eco Lifestyle, and I like that only half of it actually opens. I feel like that's pretty realistic. And then above the bed, I got a portrait. I did imagine that that portrait was one of Nancy's, um, like founding mothers. So maybe like the first land grab, or maybe the lady who built this house. I know that it's technically, that portrait is technically from Get Together, and that's actually one of the ladies, one of the what is it called? One of the ghosts at the Von Haunt estate. Um, but I don't know. I kind of like it. And then we finished up the decorating and we got a um we are now working on the what do you call? We are now working on the affair loft. So we have a few things for your Sims to do. We have a couple of um couches and we have the frame TV. And I did imagine that this is sort of where she takes people to like hang out. Um, she like steals them away from their job for a little while and gives them a break. And then, so we have a few things. We have tea and um, the dance floor and a bar and a fireplace and a couple of plants and things. So there's stuff to do in there. In if I were ever gonna play with the land grabs, I would probably lock that door for like Jeffrey specifically. Because in my head he just like wouldn't know, but obviously Sims, you can't do that. You can't be like, oh, well, this sim doesn't know. You just would have to lock it for them. And then we are moving on to their balcony. So they end up having, like I mentioned, a hot tub out here. And then they have, I think they have a couple of other things as well out here. I think it's a table and maybe a couple of other things that I don't remember specifically, but we end up having these and several lights. So there is stuff to do out here, but I don't feel like Nancy comes out here very much, with the exception of maybe she has a lever over. Um, and I did feel like Jeffrey probably knew or probably knows that Nancy has like affairs. He just doesn't care that much. Because, like, if they're not very happy in their relationship, then, like, obviously he's not gonna be. I mean, some people are still jealous, but I feel like Jeffrey, of all people, wouldn't necessarily be jealous that Nancy is having these like affairs. I feel like he would be more uncomfortable if he learned that the people that she's having affairs with are the employees, because I feel like that's kind of scandalous. Um, and it is definitely like something that you don't do in the corporate world. So, um, yeah, so we have that, and then we are getting sort of like a Zen garden at the particular moment, but I believe that ends up changing to be just sort of um like more, I don't know what you would call it, different, a different type of landscaping. And then we are moving on to the landscaping, if you didn't notice. And I'm doing this during the day. I was furnishing the actual house at night, because I felt like it was easier that way. And then I really hate that have that you can't raise up the fountains, so you have to use pools. But then if you use a pool, then your Sims can swim in it. So I had to raise it up twice, which is fine, but a little annoying because I only really wanted it up one high. But I mean, what can you do? And so we are putting in a fountain, and this ends up being quite fancy. We have some like fountain things. My grandma, the only time that I've ever had like fancy um fountains is at my grandma's apartment way back when I was like 10. my grandma's apartment when I was 10 stunk to hell because she's a smoker. So she would smoke inside her apartment, and it really bothered me. I came home to my mom and dad are separate. But I came home to my mom's, and I would always, those clothes that stayed at my grandma's house would always be smelling like cigarette smoke. But her apartment complex um, had like very fancy fountains, quite like this. It was like sort of, it was sort of pond shaped. It was like an oval or bean shape, but it didn't, but then like it had a massive fountain in the center. And I always thought that was really cool. I always hated going over to her apartment though because it stunk. Um, and when I was younger, there was this cat that she had, um, that I loved. I loved the cat. I don't remember his name. He was an orange cat. He was like an orange tabby cat. And he was kind of ugly and also really old. So I'm not really surprised that he died, but I don't remember when he died, to be completely honest, because I wasn't visiting my dad when he died, so nobody told me he died. And then one day I just sort of figured out that he died because she moved. And she talked about surrendering her other cat, but not him. Her other cat, I don't remember that cat's name either, but I never really met that cat. She was really shy. Um, and so she would always hide under the dining room table when I came over, and I was very sad about that when I was younger. My grandma had an outdoor pool, and we would have my birthdays at that pool. Um, but I never really liked pool birthdays. I felt like they were I don't like water, so I didn't really like that in general. It was kind of, yeah, not a water person. Don't love water. Um, anyway, we are still on the outside, but I am going through the debug for the Wedding Stories pack. Apparently a lot of this stuff is classed as new, but whatever. And just sort of like, I felt like it kind of helped with the landscaping a little bit. And then out here we have, um, I like the onsens better than the hot tubs. I feel like the onsens are just better, because A, more people can fit in them, and like B, I don't know, they're just, I don't know, they're in ground. I don't really like that the hot tubs are not in ground. And I wish there was a way to make them functional so that you could put them in the ground. And I know you could do that with like platforms and stuff, but you still have to have room around the pool or around the hot tub in order for it to um for your Sims to actually use it. So I just never really liked hot tubs for that reason. But I really love the onsens because they're in ground. Um, anyway, we are moving on to the bathhouse, and this is, I believe, sort of where I stopped. I could be completely wrong, but um, so we are moving on to the bathhouse, um, and sort of, oh, maybe we do this. I don't remember. And oh, so that ends up changing. But we end up having a pool, and then we got an onsen, like I mentioned earlier. And this pool is very large, and we have a couple of pool ladders, which your Sims don't actually need anymore, but I feel like it's realistic. And then we also have a diving board. I wish we had like real diving boards, if that makes sense. Because this one, your Sims just sort of jump from it. Um, but in The Sims 1, you had like low level diving boards, and your Sims, I have a fun story about that, but and your Sims could jump off and actually like dive um into the pool. One time I put a pool in my backyard, and I put a what's it called? The thing that I just said, the diving board. I put that in, and my sim child was in the pool in the morning because, like, why not, I guess. And she had to go to school, right? Because she was in there before school, and she wouldn't go to school. And I had like 8 Sims in my household. That was, if you are not familiar with The Sims 1, The Sims 1, your Sims didn't age once they became a child. So you made an adult Sim, and then you had the adult sim have a baby, which was instantaneous. Think kind of like a science baby. But your sim would just literally like talk to their partner, and then they would, yeah, so they would talk to their partner, and then there would be like little magic things. They would be like a little magic music sound that would go off, and then you would um get like a newborn, like a bassinet, and in the room, and you could move it around just like an object, just like you can in The Sims 4. And then when that baby aged up, they would age directly into a child. And then the child would remain a child for all of eternity. So my child stuck, well, got stuck, because my pool went the um from the diving board, which there was only a one wide path there, so I don't really know why I put it there, but there was a one wide path, and then your Sims would climb onto the diving board, and my Sim could use the diving board, but she got stuck on the other side of the diving board, and she couldn't she her the Sims one Sims were not very smart, so they wouldn't like go through the pool to get to the other side. They would just only try to walk on land. Um, and so she got stuck, and she almost, I don't know. I think I got a pop-up saying um like you need to have you need to take care of your child, or they're gonna be taken from you or something. I don't know. I remember one time in The Sims 1, my sim was my Sims, I don't know. I don't even know what happened. I was like 10, if that. Maybe like 7. I don't know. Um but we my sim was a single mom, because why not? And she had a baby, and I don't know how she had a baby. She didn't have a partner. Um, but she had a baby, and I was taking care of the baby, and then all of a sudden the baby got taken from me because it cried for like 2 minutes while the mom peed. And so then I didn't ever play that family again. Um, and that was kind of traumatizing to me as like a 7-year old. Um, for more reasons than I didn't want the baby to die, because functionally that's what it was to me as a child. Um, and so anyway, I didn't want that, but I didn't ever play with those Sims again. And anyway, we are coming to the end of the video now. I did talk over the entire outside. We have a wedding arch because like Nancy has her affairs, and which is blocked by a couch. Maybe they don't use it. And then we are starting to furnish the bathhouse, but I don't finish it. I got a little bit bored. So, we will be finishing that in the next part. Um, oh, I guess it will be, yeah, yeah. We'll be finishing it in the next part. So if you liked this, if you would like and subscribe, that would really mean a lot. And I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.